Hello again, everyone. Todd Staruch, the Horror Nerd, here at New Jersey HorrorCon and Film Festival at the Showboat Hotel in Atlantic City, New Jersey. I am here with the lovely Violet Ramis Stiel. Violet, how are you?
I'm great. Thank you so much. It's great to meet you.
Thank you. Nice to meet you, too. Are you having a good time at the convention this weekend?
I am. This is the second con I've ever been to, and I just am falling in love with the whole scene of it, and everyone is so warm and friendly and creative and interesting, and I just think it's a great event.
Awesome. We horror people sometimes have this bad reputation, and then people are like, "Oh, but everybody is so nice." I'm like, "We're not actual monsters."
Yeah, I was talking to Freddie and Jason, and I was like, "You guys are great." I was terrified, but now I'm good. I can sleep again.
That is awesome. So, obviously, you are the daughter of a movie icon. And the star of one of the most iconic films of all time, and something that I grew up with. I almost don't even know where to begin. How has it been kind of growing up in that, I don't like to use the word shadow, but in that shadow, if you will?
Clearly my dad was an amazing person, and his career really had a huge impact on so many people's lives. Those are impossible shoes to fill. But since he passed away a few years ago, I just feel like I have so much of him in me that I want to be able to share with people. And I also love coming out and hearing other people's stories of how he affected their lives and brought them so much joy. So it just feels like a really great way to pay my respects to him, and also offer people, the gift that I have of everything of his in me that I can give.
And that's fantastic. For us to be able to have that connection back to him through you is very cool, I must say.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So you are here at New Jersey HorrorCon promoting your book. So just tell us a little bit about it. What motivated you to write it? And just tell us what we can expect to find inside.
Well, before my dad got sick, he and I talked about writing a book together about parenting. Sort of existential parenting was our little tagline. He had teenage boys and I had young children, and I had just had such an unusual childhood and upbringing that I thought that, some of those lessons would be helpful to people. And then we never got to write that book, unfortunately, but after he died, I just started writing down all the memories that I had and all the lessons. I just didn't want to forget anything. And as I started writing that, I realized, well, this might be something that other people would be interested in. And people were writing me messages saying, how much of a sense of loss they felt when he passed away. And so I just thought, well, this is something that I can give, at least my own story of growing up with him and all the wonderful lessons and things that he gave me. And he was such a great father. And so I'm just really happy to be able to share that with people.
That's very cool. That's great. Does it ever surprise you that after all this time, the passion that people have? I mean, I have some friends who are hardcore Ghostbusters cosplayers, like movie-accurate costumes. That ever surprise you anymore?
It does surprise me so much. I mean, I don't think he really knew the community that would grow up around Ghostbusters and what a legacy it really would end up being. Being able to be here with the New Jersey Ghostbusters. Recently I was in Chicago with the Windy City Ghostbusters, and there are groups all over the world that send me messages and just share with me how much my dad meant to them, and that's just such a special thing, and I feel really honored that they've embraced me and welcomed me into this world, and so it's really wonderful.
That's fantastic. It's really touching to hear that. That's great. Tell the viewers if something about your dad that they might not know, or something that they might be surprised to hear about him.
Yeah, I don't know how much is really surprising. I think for people that were interested in him, they knew. He was a very deep thinker. He really loved, sort of philosophy and psychology and what makes us humans and what sort of unites and binds us. And I think that all of his work really speaks to that, even if it's a sort of a silly comedy like Caddyshack, or something a little more philosophical like Groundhog Day. I mean, he really put his heart and soul into everything he did, and I think that comes across in his work. And I'm just glad that even though, he's not here, that his work is still here for us to enjoy and learn from, and that's a really wonderful, beautiful thing.
I agree, and I've been a lifelong film buff in general. I mean, horror's my first love, but I'm just a film buff. And again, Ghostbusters was one of those 80 or Groundhog Day or any of them are movies that just I grew up with and are part of my love of film. And I personally think it's great that it's a way for our favorite entertainers to just live on forever. It's great.
I agree. That's so wonderful. I'm glad you said that.
Now, I was someone who I had no issue with the remake or the reboot or whatever. I don't even care what they want to call it. And this is speaking just me as a fan. Did I think it was necessary to be made? Maybe not. But I thought it was funny and respectful and had some good nods to the original. I love the scene where it's in the university and you can see the bust of your dad like in the background. I was like, I saw that. But I just like the hate that flowed. I thought it was just sad. And that's I'm embarrassed as a fan to see other fans acting that way. What did you think of that whole brew?
I mean, same. I just felt it was like really unfortunate that people sort of brought all this negativity to it. I admit I had my reservations at first when I heard about it. I thought, oh, now they want to do it after he's died. Like, how can it continue without him? But that was really just my grief talking. And the truth is, what an honor to have inspired, all of these other people to create things, about Ghostbusters that really can continue forever. I mean, the fact that there are Ghostbusters groups all over the world, the fact that there are comic books and new movies and books coming out. I mean, I hope they keep remaking Ghostbusters forever. Like, why not? It really is such a, I think, great idea and has so much magic and potential in it that I think it can continue forever as long as people are being creative and thoughtful and bringing something new to it.
That's great, and it's good to see a positive spin brought to it. That's great that you can do that. So, did you catch the acting bug at all? Is that something you're into, or what are you up to these days other than you're writing and promoting the book?
I mean, the same way a plumber's kid doesn't want to go into the family business. I was kind of like, no, I'll do something else. I did love writing, and I feel like, maybe it's genetic, but, I've got some stories to tell, and I think that I can bring a little humor and joy into the world myself, so I'm hoping to continue to do that. And either way, I just really love that I was able to write this book and pay respects to my dad, and who knows what happens in the future.
Fantastic. So we're going to get another shot of the book here. Oops. Tell the viewers how they can get the book and follow you along with your career.
The book is Ghostbusters' Daughter, Life with My Dad, Harold Ramis, and it's available on Amazon and in all bookstores. I'm also on all social media, so, find me and let's talk about my dad.
That is fantastic. Violet, thank you so much for taking a few minutes to spend with us. I truly appreciate it. It was some great insight, and I wish you much success with the book and everything that you do, and have a great rest of the weekend here at New Jersey HorrorCon. Thank you. Violet Ramis Stiel, everybody, coming to you from New Jersey HorrorCon and Film Festival here at the Showboat in Atlantic City, New Jersey. Thank you again, and we will see you all in the next interview.